Hi guys. Well, we're gonna go over the FA Cup Semifinal between Manchester City and Chelsea. So obviously, after the Champions League quarterfinal, Manchester City was super tired. Chelsea, on the other hand, they they had all in their favor because they just won 6-0 against Everton, and they could have done so much more today. But I mean, City just won it at the end. But let's go for the tactics. City, the FA was showing us a 4-1-4-1, which to me it was correct. So I saw it too. Chelsea, on the other hand, the FA showed us a 4-2-3-1, which to me is the same formation but the wrong position for the players. So Gallagher actually played on the left, Madueke on the right, and Palmer as a number 10. So it was a 4-2-3-1, but just like that. Um, so then, very early in the game, you can see between these two guys that Guardiola previously he's used them to go up as a to help Rodri and make it as a 3-2-4-1. But in this game, since you have the two guys, for the first 10 to 15 minutes, it was Stones who was doing that job because that's what Stones is really good at that. But there were times that the Stones didn't feel too well. So later on in the game, Akanji was the one. Then they swapped, and you're gonna see that later. But it's also important to say that when the Stone was going up, Gallagher he used to be closing the gap. So as you can see, he was the one pressing first. So when Manchester City wanted to start from the back, Chelsea was doing a 4-2-4, but Gallagher was the first one here, like trying to press that because we all knew that Gallagher was not gonna be the Walker, but Gallagher was the one pressing, as you can see, and that really worked out because the high press that Chelsea was doing, as you can see even there too. Manchester City, since they were tired, they didn't know how to deal with that. And to be honest, Chelsea had the best options in the game. But let's go back to that. But like I said, sometimes when Chelsea has momentum in their favor, I've noticed it in other games. Chaluba or not Silva, Disasi, they go up and they stay up, and like you can see that. And sometimes it's weird because sometimes Chelsea's a transition team. So if in other games sometimes they are like that, um, and they have to cover a lot of areas because whenever they can attack, everybody tries to go up like that. But in previous games against Manchester United or even Manchester City when they played for the Premier League, they have to cover all the space. So Caicedo, so you see that Caicedo and Fernandez and Gallagher, he plays in the middle. They're always late. It's because they have so much to cover because Chelsea's an open team. But actually, during this game, that's something that they improved. I've noticed that they were just playing super compact at times, but that's to say something positive because sometimes, like you can see in this image now, they're disorganized. Whenever they have a counter attack, they just stay in whatever position they're able to find. But if you see Gusto and Cucurella there, what are they? It's hard to tell because then you have Caicedo and Gallagher, and I mean, that's why the other teams really take advantage of that. And look at this one. This was really clear for Foden, but it all started because Chelsea had a corner kick and they didn't know how to deal with that. So look where Gusto is, look where Cucurella is. But then it gets even worse when everybody comes down because they're all disorganized. So at times it's hard to tell. I think they improved on that from the previous games, but they still need to work on that. Look at Malagusto is and if you follow the play, Foden just missed it. But it was super close for them. And on another, like I was saying earlier, on another play later on, after that 15th minute, you can see that the Kanji is the one going higher, and Stone was staying like that. But I mean, you could tell that Manchester City were tired. They were always a little late um, to the ball and stuff. But still, like sometimes you see Walker running against Jackson, and Walker, like he was really good. But anyway, so since Manchester City was trying to press high, like their back line was here on the, like Manchester City was pressing from there. Chelsea, they were trying to do they were trying to any movement from Manchester City, and they will start to play. But if you see like this they try this a few times, and whenever Chelsea builds from the back, they're really good in that transition. It's super quick, and they go to the box. It's good to see. It's something that they've been improving. Yeah, and you can see it there too. But this is, I'm pretty sure they practice this. But look how Caicedo drops a lot, like between Silva and Chalba. Then Palmer comes here, but also Gallagher, and then so it's really interesting because if you're Manchester City and you're pressing high, who's covering who, and they really take advantage of that, Chelsea. And obviously they created a lot of chances for Jackson, but Jackson couldn't put him in. Um, then the second half happened, and that's when Stones, like I was saying, he didn't feel good, so he got out and did a scheming. But in the first minutes of the second half, that's where Chelsea had the best options because Diaz, Rodri, and Akanji, these three guys, they were getting a bit confused in their positions because obviously Diaz was supposed to be here and Akanji here, but I felt like Akanji was going up, Rodri here, Rodri tried to cover this, and Akanji here. So it was like they didn't know well what they had to cover, and Chelsea really Palmer, Jackson, and Madueke and Gallagher, they really were so close to scoring. They had a few chances there. Later on the game, Manchester City was also, like they always done, trying to integrate the goalkeeper into building from the back, and that it's always good for them. It's good for them, but in this game I didn't see it as well because they were tired. So even if they were able to get out, if they passed the middle of the park, they would still just pause. Then Doku, Grealish got injured, so Doku came in. But Doku, just like against Real Madrid, he's really a threat. So because Malagusto couldn't cover him, Matiweki couldn't cover him, Chalva, Doku was doing whatever he wanted. It was really, I mean, that guy never disappoints. So then, what's his name? Pochettino, thinking that he was gonna do something good, he put in this AC for Malagusto, trying to solve that problem, which didn't help. But that's what he was trying. Then he put in Mudryk for Madueke, but Mudryk plays on the left, so that meant that Gallagher was gonna go to the right, and Chelsea was still playing a 4-2-3-1. I mean, Manchester City still doing their 4-1-4-1, turning into a 3-2-4-1. Um, but the thing is, like I was saying, Doku was so good that like you can see in this play, Doku just passed it to De Bruyne, and De Bruyne, like Doku was here doing a lot of things, really good things, and De Bruyne and Foden change positions a lot, like they always do. And De Bruyne would like that, and he crossed it to Bernardo Silva, and Bernardo Silva scored, as you can see right there. But it was interesting because Silva really needed that goal after what happened against Real Madrid. So it was good for them, but something that I like to mention is I really like to see the duels between Rodri against Palmer, Caicedo against De Bruyne, and Foden against Fernandes, although they switch a lot because, I mean, it really was a good match. I like to see that. Then Bob came in and for Julian, but he didn't change anything. It was the same formation. But then Chilwell came in for Cucurella, but it didn't help much. But when Sterling came in, when they were really losing, so they were trying to do something in the last 10 minutes. He came in for Enzo Fernandez, and Enzo got out. So then that's what Chelsea changed to 4-3-3 with like that. But it was the end of the game, and at times they were just forced to do like a 5-1-4. But it was too late anyway, and that's how that's how City beat them, and that's why they're going to the final. Anyway, I hope you liked the video, and please like and subscribe. Thanks.